Clocks in.
Clocks in.
What up, Clocks in?
Soul Fam, Clocks in.
Clocks in.
Clocks in.
Clocks in.
My homie Clocks.
The Clarkson sound like he need to come up.
Clarkson coming up next.
Clocks in.
Yo, Clocks in.
Peace to the Universal Family. My name is Clockson.
Peace to the Universal Family. It's me, Clockson, and today's video is part 2 of the process of manifestation. I told you I was gonna make it a part 2, so here we are, y'all. So, number one, why am I making this video? All right, why am I making this video? Because when I made the first video, right, of the process of manifestation and how to manifest something into the physical universe, I really only talked about the pros and how to actually do it, which was, if y'all remember, this was a while back. I said you have to come up with the idea dawns on you, then you get the excitement, right? So the idea is what gives you the excitement, and boom, now I got the idea. That's first step. Next step is thinking about the plan on how to do it, right? And then step 3 is the actual physical movement of the plan. And then step 4 is, receiving the manifestation, right? So you get the idea for the inspiration, you think about how to logically do it, whether it takes money or whatever you need to do to acquire it, gain the knowledge on the idea. And then the third step is putting the physical motion into it, right? And the fourth step is receiving the manifestation, completing it, and boom. So that's cool and all, but I didn't talk about how sometimes, right? Sometimes it's hard to get to stage 3, or it's even harder to get to stage 2, getting the knowledge, all these you need for the manifestation to continue. So today we're going to talk about the troubles and the problems and the cons of the process. Not necessarily the cons of the process, but things that could stop you from completing that process, all right? So we didn't talk about that, and that's one of the main things about manifestation, because everybody wants to manifest, and if it was this easy, everybody would have everything they wanted, right? So that's what we're going to get into, y'all. We're going to talk about the things that get in the way of the manifestation, and then we're going to try our best to break down how to deal with those problems so we can actually manifest what we want to manifest. All right, so number one, I would say even now there are things that I'm trying to manifest. Pardon the word try. I don't like using that word try. Pardon that word. There are things that I am attempting to manifest, and I'm not able to get past stage 3. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting past stage 2. I got the knowledge of how to do it. But stage 3 is the motion after that fact. I'm having a problem with that one. And one of the main problems I'm having is like too much baggage on my mind. Like too many things I'm thinking about on a day-to-day basis. It's like clouding my judgment, and it's not allowing me to like put things into motion. Like I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about that. So much emotional baggage is going on in my head right now, and it's been like this for a minute. And it's like, how do you get over this, right? I know a lot of y'all are dealing with the same thing. Emotional baggage. You might be dealing with relationship problems with yourself and others. You might be dealing with financial issues. You might be dealing with just worldly problems in general that's just getting onto you, and it's not allowing you to really focus on what you need to focus on to get these manifestations done. You know what I'm saying? So, how do we solve that? I'm always going to go back to this one thing. This is in my book, if y'all didn't know. Knowledge of self, right? So the number one thing you need to solve a problem is to identify the problem, right? So the fact that I'm even able to tell y'all that the reason why I haven't been able to manifest things is because a lot of other stuff in my mind is because I've identified what's going on with myself. You got to be honest with yourself. You can't just be like, I don't know why I can't do this. No, I don't know isn't a good answer. You got to know. So number one is to know why you can't manifest something. Analyze yourself, analyze your day-to-day actions, analyze, I always say self-reflection and introspection. Know why you're doing what you're doing, why you think what you think, what programs are going into your mind on a day-to-day basis, right? So once you do that, you'll be able to identify the problem of why you're not able to do a certain thing. Like, for example, my third step is the physical motion to put into the products that I'm trying to do. That I'm not doing because of emotional baggage, right? So now that we got that out the way, let's say, for example, it's the same for y'all, right? You're trying to do something and you can't get to stage 3, which is, with a physical motion. What do you do? Like if y'all ask me, Clockson, what do you do, right? Well, first, most people would say like, okay, deal with the emotional baggage, but there's layers to that, because sometimes there are things that you can deal with only to a certain point based on your expectation. Because to some people, dealing with it would mean confronting the actual event. Like, for example, let's say it's a relationship, like even with a friend, right? Let's say you have problems with a friend, and you want to confront them to resolve the problem, but you can't. You know, for some reason they could be dead. It could be a million different things, right? But that emotional baggage is still on you. You know, you want to confront this person, but they're not here no more. So how are you going to confront them if they're not here no more, right? That's some internal work you got to do within yourself to resolve that. You have to be able to resolve that within yourself. And even that might take time. And so that's not necessarily an answer I would give when it comes to like how do you resolve emotional baggage, because certain types of things take years to resolve. And so does that mean you're not going to be able to manifest things into the physical world until all those things are dealt with, which could take years? No. What we have to do is prioritize. So the main thing we want to do is factor in the current moment, how our life is right now, and what we need to do in order to get to the next step. You know, sometimes you have to put things to the side to think about the goal right now. So yes, I'm dealing with all these things. Even like right now myself, I'm dealing with a lot of family issues. Particularly me, I'm dealing with a lot of family drama, a lot of emotional baggage when it comes to family. That's what I'm dealing with right now, right? So what I have to do is I have to recognize that, you know, and even though I can't necessarily attack it head on like I would like to, that element of what I would want to do is completely impossible. But does that mean I'm supposed to not go towards my goals? No. It just means I have to prioritize what I have to do. So now, okay, knowing that this is going to stop me, I have to do things. I have to purposely do certain things to keep me busy. And they have to be productive, you know? So, yeah, a lot of the things that we have to do to get to the manifestation processes takes what I like to call mind tricks. And my master teacher actually taught me this. I was watching his videos and he was talking about how you have to sometimes mentally trick yourself into doing something that you need to do, even if you don't want to do it. And most people know this when it comes to working out and whatnot, but that element goes into all things. Like, even if you need to get up into bed to make breakfast in the morning, you might not want to do that, but you need to do that. So you need to mentally trick yourself, you know? You'd be like, dang, if I don't eat breakfast today, then I don't know, just give yourself like a mental trap, or not trap, like a mental warning or something. Like, if I don't eat breakfast today, my leg's gonna fall off, you know? Just any type of thing. It could be stupid, it could be whatever, but just whatever is serious to you, that should be the level of urgency you should give yourself on purpose to make you do something. For example, like, man, if I don't eat breakfast today, I'm gonna be drowsy. If I'm drowsy, I'm not gonna be awake enough to watch this show that I wanted to watch that's coming out tonight, you know? Or, you know, I wanted to watch my favorite show tonight, and I wanted to get my snacks, and I wanted to get my whole stuff to do it. But if I don't eat breakfast, I'm not gonna have the energy to do none of that. So I wanted to have a fun day today. So what I'm gonna do is, we start the day off right by eating my breakfast, you know? And then after I eat my breakfast, that should start off the day so I can have the rest of the fun, fun for the next day. So even if you might not even have fun that day, it doesn't matter. It's a mental trick. You got to realize most of the things that we do in our lives that we think of don't even come into reality. Like, we have so many thoughts every single day that 95% of them don't even get manifested. So that's why I go back to what I was saying earlier, is prioritizing. Because you can wake up today, like, for example, me, right? A day in the life of Clarkson. I can wake up today and say, you know what? I want to write my book. Actually, I want to work on my website. Actually, I want to work on my podcast. Actually, I want to do this. I want to do that. It's like a million things that I could do. So which one do I do? What's more important? Well, they're all important because they're all a part of my brand. They're all a part of what I need to be doing to, you know, evolve myself. They're all important. But the point is to prioritize, you know? And so if they're on equal levels of importance, sometimes you just got to pick one and do it. And after it's done, then you can check it off the list. So how do you just do something, Clarkson? It sounds easier said than done. Well, what you do is you isolate one single thing and figure out how to get there. So in order for me to write a book, I have to be mentally sound. I have to be, when I mean mentally sound, I have to have like the actual mental energy to write the book, because it has to come from my thoughts. That's, you know, like how I write. I get the idea and I just go sporadic. I'll probably write for hours. That's how I do my stuff, right? So me knowing that, I gotta have that spark of energy. So what I would do is I'll put myself in an environment where I'm just thinking I can pace back and forth and whatnot, and that's usually how my ideas come, right? So me knowing that if I say, okay, if I want to write my book tomorrow, I have to somehow manually put myself in that area, you know, in that space. So that comes with a certain level of planning, you know, and it's comes with a certain level of planning, because most of the things people do are just out of sporadic, but when it comes to these manifestations, you do have to actually plan things. You know, so that'll be the other step. Not only prioritizing, but you have to plan when you're going to do something, so your previous actions can lead up to the manifestation. You know, so let's get back to some of the problems that we may have. Right? Let's say you make a plan for today. Okay, boom. Today I'm gonna eat breakfast. I'm gonna go to my office and I'm gonna get to work and finish this book. Boom, that's the plan. It sounds all good. You know, you got the idea. You know what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to the office and then start writing. So boom, we're free today. We call off work. Boom, boom. Or let's say we work for ourselves. It sounds all good, right? Boom. You go outside to go to your job and then boom, an emergency happens. Now you gotta you just found out that somebody in your family passed away. Boom. Now what? You know? Now you're stressed out. You know what I'm saying? What do? So this is where the most crucial part of the manifestation process comes in. Alchemy, right? Y'all got to learn how to transmute energies. And this goes for positive and negative, you know? Because if we're not able to transmute energies, the world is going to always be able to deter and move us from our goalpost. We have to be strong enough to push through it no matter what it is and still get the goals done even after life has its toll on us. And that's easier said than done, of course, and obviously not everybody is strong enough to do that. So what I would recommend is alchemy, because everybody can learn a certain level of alchemy by transmuting energies. So for example, let's just put it in this situation. So a family member passes away, what would you do? Well, here's a possibility. You could transmute the energy, you know, and you can still go to your office and instead of writing about the book that you were going to write about something else, you know. Or you don't even have to write. You can stop. You can make voice memos. You can make a song. You can make, you know what I'm saying. You can use that energy to just happen and still be productive with it. Even though it wasn't in the plan for you today, you can still use that. Don't not use it and let that negative energy get onto you and then just you go to your house and you just, you know, you go in a corner and you just sob. You know what I'm saying? All day, and you know you just get into this depressive loop, and you just don't do anything, right? You don't want to do that because you want to be able to get out of that. It's okay for maybe like a day or so to do that because everybody goes through their own emotional process. But at the same time, you got to learn a level of alchemy. You know, you got to be able to transmute the energies. So even now, I'm going through a lot of things mentally, right? My goal now is to, and this right here, actually, y'all, me making this video is very therapeutic for me if y'all haven't known. So the goal for me today is to transmute the energy I'm feeling into something productive, like a YouTube video for y'all. Teaching, that always helps me get things off my mind. So teaching helps, making YouTube videos helps, you know, because I know I'm storing things on my YouTube channel, and my channel is going to slowly get bigger and bigger and bigger, you know. So this is what helps for me, but for y'all, it could be something else, you know. So yeah, I know I'm kind of all over the place. Let me just collect my thoughts for a second. All right, so we back. Another thing with manifestation, right? And how to get back on track. We have to be able to, because in the process of manifestation, usually what happens is when you get the idea, there's a certain level of high that you get. Like you get a high, you know, a conscious high, right? And that's what really keeps you going for the most part, because you get that feeling like, dang, this is genius. I got to do this, right? So most of the time when we get off track, we need to be able to recreate that high, that level of energy that's just like, whoa, you know? So what I would do, and what I recommend y'all to do is, when you're in a rut and you can't get to the next process of manifestation, forcibly put yourself in a situation where you would normally not be in. Like, do something out of the ordinary. Like, you know, like my master teacher was talking about this on my podcast that I did. It's like, just do something crazy. Like, go to an MMA fight, you know, go to a boxing arena. Like, if y'all been looking at my story lately, I just been going to boxing fights every once in a while, like in the afternoon, just to watch people fight. You know, it just throws me out of my normal loop of what I do on a day-to-day basis to kind of spark things. You know, you need to spark your brain back into functioning regularly. You know, sometimes when you're in the process of, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that, and then it breaks you off of that course. It's like, dang, you need to be able to get back on that course. So sometimes to get back on the course is to break your old course or the new course you're on, because this is how it works, right? So you start from one, and you get 2, and then 3, right? 3 is the objective. But when you get to 1 and you get to 2, and then something happens, right? It could be emotional damage, physical damage, anything happens, right? 1 second. So here's what happens, right? You're trying to manifest something, and you're on stage 1. You get to stage 2, but something happens. You know, it could be emotional, physical, anything happens. Now it breaks you off of your course of finishing that manifestation that you wanted to do. Now you're on a new course that's going to continue, you know, and going to have its own course. So what you have to do is to break that new course, to go back onto your old course, to finish the manifestation, is to do something crazy, do something out of the normal, to break out of that, to be able to have limbo time to get back to your original course. If you don't do that, the same new things that you're doing, like let's say you're in a depressed state and you just stay inside all day, or you do this, you do that, that's going to reinforce the new road you're on to continue going down that road. So what you got to do is, if you realize that you're on that road of just completely different than what you want to be doing, you got to do something crazy, do something that you normally would just throw you off. Like I said, go to a boxing ring, go to, you know what I'm saying, make a song, like listen to music that you normally wouldn't listen to just break you out of that shell that you're in, and then get back onto the course, you know. And one of the things I do is I watch my own videos. You know, that really helps remind me of who I am, you know, and what I'm doing and what my, purpose is. Because most of the time, like I always say, y'all, we know what we should be doing and what we want to do. It's just reminders, you know. We sometimes forget, or it might not be on our mind at that present moment. Or deep down, we know what we should be doing, what we want to do. But there's nothing wrong with reminders. So we know that as humans, and what it means to be human, sometimes we're not going to always be sharp 24/7. So if we know that about ourselves, that's why I always go back to knowledge yourself. If you know yourself, you know how to fix yourself, you know? So you identify, dang, somebody like me needs constant reminders of who I am and what I need to do in order to continuously stay on my purpose, right? So what do? I spark my brain, do something out of the ordinary, watch something that's like, whoa, it just shocks my mind, like give me stimulus, I stimulate my brain, be like, wow, okay, and it gives me new ideas, and it gives me a new spark, a new drive, and then as I'm on that energy, I'm like, you know what? I already got things I need to do. Let me knock those out. Boom, 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 because I'm on a conscious high, and when you're in that state, things become easier for you. You know, things that normally would be like, damn, I gotta do this and I do that. It's like I don't want to do that. It kind of switches the algorithm in your brain of the things that you need to get done versus things you just want to, you want to get in. Like, for example, my book, I was encouraged to get that finished. I wasn't like, dang, I gotta get this book out. Like, I wanted to get the book done. Same for the YouTube channel. Like, I love uploading videos. And when you can switch something into something you love, which is the highest frequency, you pretty much Gucci, y'all. So this is basically part 2 of the manifestation process. Like, use the alchemy to transform the problems into positive solutions, you know? So even when there's a problem that comes your way, it's gonna stop you from manifesting what you really want to, progress in your life, use that. Use every opportunity as an advantage. So when you make a plan, you go 1, 2, 3, and then boom, something comes in the way. You use that. That's energy. Even if it's bad energy, it's still energy. So if you're good enough in your practice, you can take that negative energy and transmute it into positive energy, and then use that, like, boom, as positive energy for yourself, charge yourself up, boom, and still keep going, y'all. So that's basically it for the video, y'all. The step 2 of manifestation, how to keep going even though life is gonna, treat you crazy. And yeah, that's about it, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all follow me on all social media platforms, and make sure y'all keep doing what y'all gotta do and what you need to do, what you know you gotta do, Self-realization, organizing, planning it out, and transmuting the energy, y'all. So that's about it. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff, and new videos to come, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Love y'all. Peace.